Hello, and welcome back to another video on Time Gaming. And today I'm going to be ranking all FNAF games based on horror. So without further ado, let's continue with the video. So just know I'm not ranking on things like jump scares, gameplay, stuff like that. I'm only ranking solely on horror. If you want me to rank by content I'm playing, do that in my next tier list video. So yeah, anyways, I have all of the FNAF games stuff here. Except for special delivery, which was removed. Yeah. Special delivery, if you didn't know, was discontinued earlier this year. I think it was March of this year. Discontinued, so. Comment down, I will tell you right now, though, if I were to rate special delivery on this tier list, I think it would be either an A or a B, somewhere around there. And now for FNAF 1. FNAF 1 is definitely S tier. It's very scary and overall has a very, very scary aesthetic. I think Scott meant it to be scary. Duh, it's a horror game. So yeah, I think FNAF 1 nails it pretty good on terms of the horror. It doesn't have nearly as much lore as some of the other FNAF games does, but I don't think it was originally meant to be a story-rich franchise. So, but yeah. Anyways, I mean, of course it had a story, just didn't have, nearly as big as the story that it has today. Anyways, moving on. FNAF 2. FNAF 2, is it either an A or a B? I think an A, because FNAF 2, it's really tense and stuff, but doesn't nearly have the horror aesthetic that FNAF 1 does. It's still pretty scary, don't get me wrong, but doesn't nearly have as good of a horror aesthetic as FNAF 1 does. Now for FNAF 3. FNAF 3, easily S tier. FNAF 3 has, in my opinion, the scariest aesthetic of any FNAF game, except, and in my opinion, the only ones that could even possibly rival it are FNAF 1 and Into the Pit. But even then, I'm still pretty sure that FNAF 3 surpasses them both by far. So, yeah. FNAF 3, very scary aesthetic. I mean, the jump scare good, kind of let down, but other than that, it's pretty much perfect. Then FNAF 4, with the nightmares and stuff in the bedroom, definitely S tier. From the gameplay, I guess it isn't as interesting as the previous ones, but it has a somewhat scary aesthetic and very scary gameplay and very tense. So, yeah. And the FNAF World. FNAF World is a spin-off game that wasn't really meant to be, have horror, so I think it's pretty obvious. It's going in F tier. Sorry, but we're ranking on horror, and you're technically not a horror game, so you're going in F. Now for Sister Location. Sister Location, in my opinion, nails the horror. I know I'm putting too many in the S tier, but hopefully you will see less of the games in the upper tiers in the near future. But anyways, my opinion, Sister Location kills it on the horror. It has a very scary aesthetic, very scary gameplay, very tense. Certain parts are very tense, especially the mini arena part. And yeah. So I think Sister Location kills it in terms of the horror. In fact, I think it might even... No. It's still pretty scary overall. Wait, I think I'm going to rearrange them. Whoops. Wait, what? I think I'm going to rearrange them based on how scary they are. Because... yeah, that looks about good. Wait, actually... So yeah, I think that would be me arranging the games based on how scary they are. Okay, now for Pizzeria Simulator. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to give Pizzeria Simulator a D because don't get me wrong, the gameplay itself is scary and the salvage sections are especially scary. But I think the pizzeria aspect of Pizzeria Simulator takes away a lot of the horror aspect because most people, especially scaredy cats, like to spend a lot of time in the pizzeria section of the game. Now, I'm not saying that if you spend a lot of time in the pizzeria section of the game that you're a scaredy cat, but it does take away a lot of the horror aspect, in my opinion. And now for Ultimate Custom Night. Ultimate Custom Night, though, I guess it's still technically a horror game. It's not necessarily focusing on horror as much as the other FNAF horror games. It's more of just a sign up, sort of like a challenge game. So, I don't know. I guess I'll rank it as C. Because it's still technically horror, just not super good in terms of horror. Now Help Wanted. Help Wanted, easily S tier. Help Wanted is super scary, and I think it's very interesting. It's not the most scary aesthetic, but it's definitely pretty scary nonetheless. And I think the VR part kind of helps with that. But whoops. Wait. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, now Freddy in Space 2. Freddy in Space 2 is a spin-off game that wasn't even meant to be a horror game, so yeah, that's also going in F tier. The same goes for Security Breach Fury's Rage. Wait, what? Same goes for Security Breach Fury's Rage and Freddy in Space 3 Chica in Space, because those were not none of those were meant to be horror games, so they don't really have any horror aspect to them. After Security Breach. Security Breach does have some horror, but it doesn't nearly focus as much on the horror as some other FNAF games do. But it does have a lot of content, but not nearly as much horror. I mean, of course, it does have horror, just not necessarily as good as some of the other games. So I think I'll give Security Breach a B. Now for Security Breach Ruin. Security Breach Ruin was more scary than Security Breach, although I think part of that goes to the fact that everything's ruined and withered and stuff like that. So, yeah. Pretty interesting, and I like it a lot. Now, the one thing that I really personally don't like is the fact that they scrapped Burn Trap from Security Breach, because Burn Trap is my personal favorite character, but, I don't know. But I guess Security Breach, I guess I'll give an A. I'm not sure, I think it's better than FNAF 2, but it might be kind of biased, because I don't really like FNAF 2 very much, but I don't know. I'll let you decide. Help Wanted 2. Help Wanted 2, I think, is kind of scary. Yeah, I'm moving FNAF 2 down here. But yeah, anyways, Help Wanted 2 is pretty scary. It's just that, the Pizzaplex thing of it kind of removes some of the horror, but still has a somewhat good amount of horror. 5 Nights at Freddy's. Like FNAF World and Freddy in Space 2, Chica in Space... Wait, what? I'm sorry about that. But anyways, like FNAF World, Freddy in Space 2, Security Breach Fury's Rage, and Freddy in Space 3 Chica in Space, 5 Nights at Freddy's wasn't meant to be a horror game, it was just meant to be a sort of racing game. Which means it doesn't really have any horror, so... Yes, that means 5 Nights at Freddy's is going in the F tier. Now for 5 Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit. 5 Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit, in my opinion, really kills it on the horror aspect of everything. So, yeah. I think they're going in A tier. And let me rearrange things a little bit. So there you go. So that's all the FNAF games ranked except for Special Delivery. Sorry about that. Anyways, here are the actually, wait a minute. I think yeah, there we go. So there we go. So from most to least scary is in the S tier we have Into the Pit, Sister Location, FNAF 3, FNAF Help Wanted, FNAF 4, and FNAF 1. In the A tier we have Help Wanted 2, Security Breach Ruin, and FNAF 2. In the B tier we have Security Breach. In the C tier we have the Ultimate Custom Night. In the D tier we have Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator, and in the F tier we have FNAF World, Freddy in Space 2, Security Breach Fury's Rage, Freddy in Space 3 Chica in Space, and 5 Laps at Freddy's. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I'm pretty sure my next tier list video will be me ranking the FNAF games based off of how much content they have. So yeah, so stick around for that. But anyways, thank you guys for watching today's video. If you liked today's video, then please get to like, and as always, subscribe. Also, part of the reason why I made this is because I just enjoy making tier lists. But anyways, bye-bye for now. Hello, and welcome back to another video on Time Gaming. Today, I'm going to be ranking... Hello, and welcome back to...